Daily trading recap. It is Friday, the 11th of February, 2022, and again another hard day in the P&L. Just coming into today with whatever circumstances we had that were different than any other day before it. And I mentioned that with like the monthly recaps, that it's weird for me at times to do those monthly recaps because each day of the month, each week is so different. There's different circumstances of not only just how I'm feeling as a person on that day, but just of, like coming into today of, I couldn't trade my full-size futures that I wanted to do on today. That would have been an awesome, successful trade for looking to play the spread volatility on the SPY today through the ES and MES. But unfortunate that I couldn't have been a part of it, and I had to go with the MES today, just go directional, and I ended up going short with a short bias coming into today out of the open, and then covering as we're spiking to new high of day here, and ended up covering pretty much right at the single high of day before it ended up just nosediving off the planet and whatever news that affected that market today. But sure enough, the sentiment was there overall today for death, getting us almost 2% in the red from yesterday's close. So we'll see how that sets us up for the next coming few trading days in next week. I like the volume that's coming in. I like the fact that VIX is now still rising once again, which does boast well for that volatility spread style of trade that I want to start going after more, that I've been trying to go after more with this little futures setup that I have. So refunding that account again, fixing all the little bugs, and adjusting myself to the mentality that I should be holding myself to with this strategy. So it's a learning process. I was trying to hit the ground running, go hard from the get-go, but glad in reflection that these little kinks and these little bugs have shown themselves so early, and that these failures have popped up to say, okay, bring them on. Let's expose the holes of the system to see if this system is a system, if this little pattern, this little data is anything that I'm actually seeing. Let's put the light on it and get all the cockroaches out immediately and see if there's actually some weight to this. So it's proving so far, overall, the idea of it is just, it is there, but it's just the definition of how I hold myself to this trading, how algorithmic I can get, and making sure I have enough money in the account so my broker doesn't stop me out before the trade ends up actually working out on the day. Market internals, just for some reference for me, NASDAQ $308 billion volume on the day as of 36 minutes after the close. And I see $432 billion volume on the day. OTC is $2.4 billion volume on the day. Just at that one ES trade that I was taking directional short that got screwed over, covering into the high of day there on that one. And then I also I'll go into MITQ quick for the nice play that I mentioned. I was getting along 50 shares overnight, holding this for a similar setup to KAVL that also went ludicrous today. But similar float, similar type of setup for this third day coming into it. So seeing if we had any strength or continuation to push this thing for some nice price action today, which it did, but not really based on any type of volume. So it was pretty lackluster and actually pulling back a little bit into the after hours and even a little bit pre-market today. But sure enough, it started perking and some volume came from somewhere. It was hitting these price levels from somewhere. It wasn't like it was the volume we were seeing on the first screen day by any means, anywhere close to that. But price is king, and price was hitting these levels there. So respecting how I would approach this one with a full position size again, not going in with a full position size overnight, especially because of how little I've put my skin in the game on these overnights for me to feel confident and convicted in taking a larger size on the style of trade, but still being a part of it because I felt the pattern was there. Taking off half into the first little perk at 179, able to get into as it's pulling there. Kind of double tops at that, tries to pull back to VWAP here, just continues to attempt, gets a little double toppy or lower high at this point, pulls back again to VWAP, but still holding that 172 level. We see the new break to high of day here. It's just I'm with this last half, and for how small of a size too. Not that I would be trading. I still want to hold myself accountable that it is an educational experience and still hold within reason what I would be doing with a large position size, but still yet at the same time realizing, hey, I got 25 shares. Let's see what it can do. It's like lackluster volume. It's even moving this well with that little of volume. Let's see if any more volume comes on this, if it can go kind of crazy. Just kind of stuffs here again a little bit, but just failing to break. And then eventually, as the signs are shown here, I dump the last remaining half of my position at that failure to maintain this price. But sure enough, it does hold that 172, bounces perfectly off of there to that 172 level again, and goes all the way up to 19 with a beautiful little opportunity there. I can't deny or spit in the face of this chart today, and I can say that I don't like it because it's doging so often and only traded 7,800 trades today, $5 million volume, which is nothing to bat an eye at, but certainly not the small cap, low float, Scamex type of sector momentum plays we want to see on this today. That just, gets me going in the morning, but it's price is king, and price action was certainly there today for a nice little trade on that one. So glad to be part of that little 7.8% profit I was able to scalp on that one, regardless of the P&L that I actually pulled away from it. Still just continuing to build these little building blocks going forward and taking those baby steps of identifying trades, seeing charts, seeing patterns, and pushing the button, getting involved in them. That was MITQ. Now let's go back to, just for reference for me on, it's certainly, again, hit what I was looking for of this. And I think Fridays, too, are going to be a key factor for that volatility aspect that, for some reason, Fridays may have this just less directional or less trend day tendency than the other days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But even of those other days of the week, too, there's still some opportunity there. So I think right now I'm very biased coming in the next few weeks of hitting Fridays hard with that volatility search, just kind of the blanket algorithmic based, totally percentage-wise based from the open price of 0.25% above, 0.25% below, 0.3% above, 0.3% below, whatever factor I choose for that day that, hey, I'm looking for that. I'm just setting limit orders there and just walking away, because knowing that if it goes green by 1%, or even like yesterday of a great example of, even if we're reclaiming the highs here of that pre-market for 1% drop off, I think that was at that point, even as it's reclaiming at that, and the data would prove that as well, even the price action pushing that far away, it still has the opportunity and chance to go green. And I can't cut this hit rate or this win rate data back testing that I've done short by limiting myself, by cutting losses quickly, or following with a similar type of penny stocking mindset or small cap mindset of cutting losses quickly, cut it, move on to the next one type of mentality of the next bus stop ticker mentality, where this is a SPY, and this requires a little bit different of trading style and mentality that I'm now definitely learning than that type of trading of the penny stocks of the small cappers. So it's certainly a stretching of myself and growing in my knowledge of who I am and what I really like to do as a personality of my trading. So I'm very grateful for every opportunity and each day and each loss. I'm certainly grateful for the tuition paid in order to learn from every factor that was given off of that day. And certainly not going to be the last red day, but that is all I had. I'm thankful for Super Bowl Sunday coming up. Going to hit some hard nachos and buffalo chicken dip, and then I'm going to take a big old fat nap on Sunday. Hit it hard back again on Monday. I sincerely thank you guys for watching. We will catch you guys on the next one.